I know it.
I'd like to call the Tourism Committee to order, February 27th, 2025. First order of business would be to approve the minutes from the January 21st meeting. Supervisor Presido on first and Supervisor Turner on the second. Is there any questions or discussion on the minutes? No? Okay, all in favor to approve the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Sorry.
Huh?
I said aye, I'm sorry.
That's okay. We'll take your vote too. Okay, next will be privilege of the floor. Does anybody have anything they would like to discuss with the tourism committee? No? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to the action items. We have 4 resolutions here. They all are related to new contracts, related to marketing as well. I'd like to turn the floor over to Heather to discuss them, and if nobody objects, we could vote on them all together as one. If everyone's in agreement with that. Okay, so Heather,
Thank you.
you're up.
So the first 2 is with Rove Marketing. As you'll remember, last committee meeting, we had moved things through the committee. We held it back because we wanted to make sure that we were within the appropriate purchasing requirements, and therefore working with the attorney's office and the purchasing department. We put both of these contracts out to bid. We say both because one refers to the dashboard we use. The other refers to the subscriptions we purchase. One business declined to apply due to them and not being able to meet the services, and then no one else had agreed to apply. The second is New York Welcomes You. This is to do very similar to what we've done every year. They distribute our travel guides at various major events within the Northeast. They go to shows and events. They also feature us on the passenger side of both the front and the back seat of their vehicle that they drive across country, as well as some other marketing support that we get from them. The fourth one is with Famous Destinations, and this is to conduct a visitor survey stewardship vision for Warren County, the Lake George area. The reason this is only 1 year is it's just one specific project. There is no need to have multiple years. I will point out that he did a fabulous tourism presentation at the recent county municipal, not a NICEP. And so I've heard great things from him. He is very well known in the industry and will help us very well with a visitor stewardship program. So I'll pass it on back to the chair.
Okay. Does anyone have any objections to bringing this to the floor, all 4 of them at once to be voted on?
I don't, but is there any issue with the way the contracts read for each of these? Are they different? That's something that can collectively do.
The motion to bring them to the floor is to approve them, because it does not tie these together. They'll all be 4 separate resolutions,
Okay.
4 separate contracts.
Okay, did we bring them to the floor?
No.
Okay. Just checking. We need to bring all 4 to the floor then. Supervisor Strainer, in a second. Nobody wants.
Well, I have a question.
Well, yeah,
Okay,
I'm not ready to say yes because I need to know more.
okay, so it's to the floor, then you can ask the questions. So second would be Supervisor Turner. And now we're open for discussion.
Okay.
Yes.
In plain terms, what's Road Marketing going to do?
So Rove Marketing is our dashboard for all of our analytics. From everything from STR to mobile data to Canadian visitor surveys. So they basically collect it into a dashboard. And then they also run some reports for us so that we then can share them out to the community.
Did we have that before
Yes. We have
with different companies?
the same company. The reason why it's a new contract is we have separated the services from just being a contract and subscription. Or excuse me, just being a dashboard and subscription, we broke the two services out. To make sure that because the subscription services, and actually the dashboard, both can be, they're not proprietary. So we can go in different directions. So that's why we brought it back out to get a quote on them. And so we made sure that we stayed within the
Oh,
purchasing requirements.
thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a,
Good.
New York welcomes you. Now they're going to be distributing material for us
Yes. So in the past.
throughout just New York?
No, they go to Pennsylvania, all throughout the Northeast. I
Okay.
think one of the larger shows that they go to is the Flower Show, which they're there for 10 days. And we are one of 9 destinations in New York State that they represent as a partner. And so they both distribute our travel guides, but they also talk about to the consumers what the pieces of properties we have.
Okay, and last. Famous destination marketing, you said they do stewardship, but I don't understand what that means.
So the visitor economy stewardship vision, and I'm just gonna actually ask you to turn over your packet. So I'm just gonna show you, basically, they're gonna help us to identify not only those that are in our markets, but also those that could be potential visitors. And so they're gonna provide us with more of a plan over the next 5 years, 3 to 5 years of those personas that we can go after. So part of that, in layman's terms, is more about, they're gonna conduct a secret shop. They're gonna come into our destination, they're gonna act as a visitor, they're gonna, go through those motions and basically do some research on that end. They'll do a destination immersion where they're gonna come and speak to us, speak at different opportunities for the stakeholders to have some feedback and provide that to it. This is part of what was presented as part of the 2040 plan to really dive deeper from a tourism perspective into those that are visiting us. They'll do discovery and research, so they'll use a lot of those research pieces that we've done, the outdoor study, the 2040 plan, to guide us to that next level. They're gonna present a plan of action and also an advocacy plan that we can share with our constituents to kind of talk about tourism that's happening here in our destination, and then present a final plan to us for the next 3 to 5 years.
Thank you, Heather.
You're welcome.
I feel a lot better.
Good.
We all do.
So I have a question on the famous destination as well, Heather. Is there any duplicative efforts between us and the Lake George Convention Bureau there? We do something, they do something similar, or, we're paying for them to do something, or is this a complimentary?
This,
What
I
they
am
do?
not aware of them doing any plan like this, and actually they are much part of the partner to us on this. I have not heard them doing any of the type of visitor stewardship program. So to answer that particular question, and I don't believe our efforts are duplicate, there's a lot of things that we share from a resource perspective. The CVB focuses a lot on the sales piece of tourism. And so the conventions, the groups, things like that, where ours is focused on leisure. And so in instances like this, Gina's team and us and our team will work together collaboratively to work on projects like this.
The last question is, Rope seems to be obviously a very capable company. It's a Canadian company. Is there any discussion about potential
Yeah.
increases or, issues with just dealing with Canadian companies versus the US company?
Well, I did put it out to bid. The US company declined because they can't meet the services that we require. One of the bigger pieces that I require is that we can export raw data. I don't want an organization to take all the data and mix it together and not provide me with a firm methodology where I can take the data as raw. So for example, we buy visa data. I want to make sure that I can also report out individually on that. So we did put it out to bid. Unfortunately, I only got one response, which was a no, because we can't meet the requirement. But we will, as we you know, when the contracts expire, we will definitely continue to go out. And as I go to various conventions and meetings, I can also look for other opportunities, other businesses that do those likenesses.
Thank you.
Supervisor Strainer?
I've got a question on the secret shopper thing. These are very subjective. Sometimes these people, you just don't know. If you're looking at one person's opinion over someone else's. But are they gonna go into the hotels, the restaurants, the stores? And give an opinion and, what their
So it's-
service was like in those establishments?
It's more about the environment. So, and I do this on a daily basis. I go in, you know, specifically around here, I'll go in and, you know, for example, for the winter carnival, we went into the Holiday Inn and I wanted to know why are you here? Where did you come from? Those types of questions. It's not critics on them performing their business as a cashier. It's more about the environment, the welcoming. So it's not just about the location, but how does it feel? How does the businesses really react to wanting to help? You know, or how do the customers, are they locals? Are they far away? So it's a combination of a couple of things that they're gonna do. But if I could speak to the experience of this person, Josiah Brown, he is well known and has done this across the US. In Minnesota, he's in Minnesota's, he's done, I want to say also out in Washington. You know, so he is well known across the US, and so that knowledge alone, I think, will help us and compare us to not only New York State, but also other states throughout the country. Yeah.
So when these people do this, are they gonna report to you what places they went to?
I think it's gonna be an overall, like, they're not gonna say, okay, we went to the Holiday Inn and this is what we experienced. It's gonna be an overall, we went to, you know, 5 hotels, 6, you know, and 6 restaurants. Holistically, it's not gonna be about reporting out the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's about just sourcing the information on who we are as a destination, who's here, and whether or not, we need to, for example, I'll give you a great example in North Creek and all the additions that's happening up there. We need to make sure that our businesses are ready for what they're about to encounter. And so make sure that the businesses are open, things like that. So he's gonna also look into those types of things as well, the operating hours, because it helps us to better educate and assist our businesses as well to be ready for certain tourism opportunities.
So this will be just going to you. This won't be anything we're gonna share with the public. It's,
No, the summaries and everything will definitely be shared. Absolutely. This is something that the public, both, you know, representatives of the elected officials as well as the businesses, I think this will be very important to share. So absolutely 100% be shared. And part of this also, should he be chosen, he is going to come to the March meeting. Yes, because it happens right after. We would invite him to the March meeting to give his first presentation and overview of what he does. So then you can
sometimes
ask him
get nervous
questions.
if these people give like bad reviews and if it gets out into the public and it's sometimes not fair.
Completely understand. He's very objective and it's not about bad news. It's about opportunities. And it's about so I think that you can trust that not only my office, but he will report that out in a very productive way. Because I look at this as opportunities for us. And I do understand and respect what you're saying, and I will make sure we keep ahead of this.
Well, I agree with you. I do think it's good to know if we have some of these issues, because this will stop people from coming. You know, people want to go where they're welcome, you know? When I go to Turning Stone, they love me out there.
You have a question?
Yeah, just quickly, I do want to make that clear. We get enough reviews. We
Yes.
get Google, TripAdvisor.
this-
We don't need any more reviews. This is more of an observation type of thing, recommendation, how to build a better
Yeah.
brand, maybe regionally or locally. Exactly.
It's also about visitation. So it's about, you know, taking that research and looking at, okay, who is coming here right now?
We get good reviews.
Who are our, well, you get great reviews. Who are our likenesses? And who should we be going after that bring in more dollars? So the secret shopper is like probably like 15% of the entire project. And so it
Okay.
gives us a little bit of opportunity to then be competitive with other destinations and start to steal their visitors, honestly and truthfully.
Very good.
Or at least that's what I'm gonna use it for.
Yeah, I like it.
Any other discussion? Okay. All in favor?
I,
Aye. Any opposed? Pass it.
So I'm gonna make this, my report very quickly. If you wouldn't mind, bring up a video while she's bringing it up. This video, I just wanted to share with this committee, so you understand some of the things that we are working on in the tourism department, and I give Casey a lot of credit for this particular project. This is a sizzle reel. It is not, for distribution as far as promoting on certain channels. This shows all of the assets that we collected, from the whole video shoot. You can go ahead and start it and then I'll. Oh, that's okay. And so we're excited to share what the agency has put forth in assistance. This is playing off of a campaign that we're looking at for Vacations Were Invented Here. We all know that the Lake George area is a place that everyone has come to. Everywhere that I talk to people, they're like, oh, I used to go there. So it's really playing off of those pieces. And I would be remiss if I didn't highlight my team and specifically Casey for her efforts in making that happen, working with the agencies and connecting with the businesses. We have great businesses here who assist us in all different levels of making that happen. And so then Casey was on site, making sure that our brand was resurrecting through this. And I do need to read a few things because we just had a winter shoot. And I want to thank some of the businesses who assisted us with that. Number one, Garnet Hill and Jim, he provided lunch for the entire staff and crew at no charge. And so Jim, I want to thank him publicly. Gore Mountain and Ian, who works up there, they worked with us very closely and actually spent the entire day, 2 days with our staff scouting and then allowing us to shoot on the mountain. CNC Adirondack, their snowmobiles. Thankfully, we had a great winter and they took us out onto the lake, provided us with an opportunity to shoot all of what winter has to offer for us here. West Mountain and Sarah and Laszlo and the team there, they allowed us to come and do the snow tubing, which was great. They gave us an even extended tour of the facility, which is fabulous. Winter Carnival team, Jessica specifically, she changed some events so that we can capture it. Brant Lake Winter Carnival Group, the team up there, Brandon. I'm sorry that I was remiss and this is my first time attending, but if you've never attended before, it is like homegrown, community oriented. It just gives a different light of some of the different types of carnivals we have here. And then Austin Charters and Burke Collins, both, Austin Charters as well as Burke Collins, gave us the ability to shoot some fabulous shots on Lake George of ice fishing, which was great. So I want to thank each of those businesses publicly because without them, we wouldn't be able to get this great footage that we have. And hopefully I'll be bringing you a sizzle video from there. So that is my report. Thanks for the extended time on watching the couple-minute
It
video.
was good. and
Thanks.
Thank you. For
We're
the
excited.
report.
They do a great job. And now can't wait to produce things out of those. So thanks.
Okay, we'll open the floor to anyone who has public comment or any discussion, anything they want to say. Yes,
I'm Gary Thornquist, General Manager, Lake George RV Park on Route 149. Just a few comments. Thank you, Heather, for giving a presentation. I always want to know what's going on. We are, I've been there 40 years. We're 100% leisure travel, so we depend completely on the tourism department for the efforts with bed tax. They're being spent, so that's important to know exactly what's going on with the tourism department. Just a little bit of constructive criticism on the video. Can you show some roller coasters and some downtown? And some, I mean, kids make the decisions on a lot of the vacation. Okay, all right, okay.
That includes just that, yes.
Yeah,
You're-
restaurants,
right.
attractions. I mean, the kids are making the decisions on vacations.
Yeah.
They don't want to be in the wilderness. Yeah.
So do I hear you're gonna allow us to come and shoot there?
Absolutely. You come and shoot anytime you want at the park.
Actually, some of our staff or some of the folks stayed at your
Oh, good.
your
Okay.
site while shooting in the
Good.
fall.
Yeah, I mean, we get good reviews too, so.
You get
so-
great.
Gary will make them breakfast.
I will, whatever we need to do. And that kind of relates to the next topic. I don't know how much outreach you do to local businesses on the current climate and things. We have a real problem with occupancy here. Back when the occupancy tax 20 years ago was enacted, we spent roughly $700,000 a year and it went all to the tourism department out of the general fund. And now we're up to $7 million in spending. And unfortunately, occupancy hasn't increased in a major way. We're making our money on rate, and that's a problem because if we turn into a recession, we're going to lose that ability to charge the rates. And if we don't do something to get occupancy up, I don't know how we're going to survive. I have 40 years of records of occupancy. I can give you every single thing going all the way back. And we did have a spike, of course, camping had a spike during COVID, was short-lived, just about a year and a half. And we're back below our 2019 levels and it seems to be declining every year and we all seem to be raising our rates, but now we're only appealing to the upper part of, the demographic. And we're going to lose those, blue collar people, are like bread and butter for Lake George a lot of times. And we're going to price ourselves out if we don't do something to increase occupancy. We all have to make payroll. We all have to make our expenses, and that's the only way we can do it. And I know there's some businesses in the room right now that have that same situation where occupancy is steadily declining. So I don't know what the answer is, but I would encourage you to reach out to the businesses and just get a feeling for what direction we're going in. I don't know. You say, well, if we took the 7 million out, where would we be at? Maybe we'd be much worse. So. I don't know. I'm just bringing it up. And the only other thing I wanted to mention is we are having a problem with Canadian business. They're canceling. They are boycotting the area. If you talk to Great Escape, they're having a very tough time with the indoor water park. They're getting a bunch of cancellations. I've gotten, not a lot, probably 10 cancellations due to the political situation, but they're punishing us for it. So I would either pull back your Canadian market, because I don't know if we're gonna be able to get them here, and you might get some bad press over it up there. I don't know, or, you know, change things, or they are a sizable part
Those
of
are
our
in the
business
works right now.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
So, that's my 2 cents. Thank you.
Does anybody else have any public comment they'd like to make? Okay, hearing none, then we'll do motion to adjourn. Supervisor Strainer, Supervisor Stroud.